Love lives in the details we take time to create. Today I'm decorating for February, a season of romance, and my birthday month, with a focus on something quiet, natural, and timeless. Soft textures, gentle candlelight, and a few handmade DIYs like candles, moss hearts, and a simple menu. This is about creating a cozy, romantic feeling for someone you love or simply for yourself. I have a tendency to look at vessels and want to turn them into candles, so I thought it would be nice to turn this urn-shaped planter I found at HomeGoods into just that. You could bring a pot of water to a boil and do what's called a water bath by introducing your wax-filled pitcher to melt your wax, but depending on the project, this portable burner can give you a little more freedom and control. The bottom can get hot, so you'll want to protect any surfaces. Here's a small pitcher I use to melt the wax. I really need to invest in a larger size for projects like these. You can add your oils or fragrances of choice, but here I decided to use wax melts, not only to keep it simple, but also to add some color. Today, I'll be using soy wax. This burns cleaner than paraffin, but has a better scent throw than beeswax. Here are essentially popsicle sticks with holes in the middle, and they help to prop the wick up during the curing process. These are coffee stirrers I'm going to hot glue to each side just to give myself a little more reach, since the mouth of this vessel is quite large. If you can, I would pick a vessel that is uniform in size, but since this is flared at the top, I will need to place multiple wicks. As it gets closer to the bottom, I can choose to light just one or two of them. Once I've got my spacing figured out, I'm going to take some hot glue and glue these to the bottom. There are sticky buttons you can place at the base of the wicks, but I find with super glue, I don't have an issue with the wicks dislodging when introducing the hot wax. Whatever vessel you choose to use, filling it twice will give you what you need to make one candle. I'm going to add 1 packet of these wax melts per candle to hopefully create a shade of pink that matches my shirt. This is an easy way to give the candles some scent without having to measure oils or add additives like mica for color. The soy wax melts quickly, but the wax melts need a little extra love. Unfortunately, because of the size of my pitcher, I will have to do each urn in 2 batches. If you can help it at all, don't be impatient like I am by pouring hot wax on top of wax that hasn't yet had a chance to fully solidify. This can cause an indentation in the middle later. Always leave just a little wax to reheat and pour on top to smooth out any imperfections. As those are cooling down, I begrudgingly need to remove the rest of my winter decor. It's no secret that I'm a fan of artificial plants, but I have yet to find artificial magnolias that are executed well. So here, I filled this vase with water and clippings from a magnolia tree. Here, we'll introduce a sweet little angel, giving a nod to Valentine's Day without being too on the nose. I'm bringing back my coasters for practicality, but also to elevate this little table lamp to illuminate the angel in the evenings. I'm saying goodbye to these cozy winter pillows and bringing back these white pillows that echo the knots in the rug below the sofa. I really enjoyed my winter refresh coffee table, but it's time to put these things away and introduce a cleaner, more stripped back look to match the rest of the living room. I found this book stand on Amazon. It's just 2 pieces of wood that interlock and help elevate books both visually and literally. I came across this book, Beauty in Bloom by Debbie Shapiro, and I have to say, everything in this book is absolutely beautiful. The phrases are nice to read, but the imagery especially is just incredible. I love finds like this because I can use them all year round and change the pages to match the colors in the living room from season to season. I'm not sure which one I'll land on today, but there are so many choices that I can switch it up regularly. Now that the candles have cooled, I'll flank the book on both sides. They're not perfect, but that adds to the handmade charm. I've always kept my table chairs in the same configuration, but I had an idea that would allow me to use the full length of the table. so I've stored one chair away and brought the spare chair to one side of the table. Here, I'm adding gaffer's tape to the edges of the table, which will help keep the cheesecloth table runner in place while I decorate. I like to use this kind of tape because it doesn't leave any residue. Because I'm able to use the full length of the table, I thought it would look nice to drop the tablecloth all the way to the floor for a little extra drama. I mentioned at the beginning that this is my birthday month, and it's also Ezra's birthday this month. But we'll celebrate her a little later, as she's currently enjoying one of her many afternoon naps. I'm reusing my gold plate chargers that I've been decorating with since Christmas. I'm definitely getting my money's worth. On top, we're using simple white plates, accompanied by their salad plate companions. Finally, a simple linen napkin, folded and pressed to impress. I found a 6-pack of reeded vases on Amazon, fairly inexpensive, and unfortunately, one came shattered on arrival. They came out to be about $4 to $5 a piece, so I wasn't too worried about returning them since I only needed 3, and plan to give the others away as gifts. If you're new here, this is the portion of the video where I struggle to put together a flower arrangement. I'll start by adding 3 of whatever these are, some sprigs of eucalyptus, 3 wine-colored carnations, and 3 of these beautiful pink and purple lined carnations. I'm adding this green filler to the middle, but I ultimately removed it for the final look. Lastly, I'm filling in the sides with some more filler, making sure to trim everything back before it makes it to the table so it doesn't overwhelm the space. Here, I have some very inexpensive taper candle holders from Hobby Lobby. I love the form, but I'm thinking the black will feel a little gothic. So by taking some antique gold rub and buff, we can transform them into a soft gold to match the chargers underneath the plates. Here's how they look after I finished. They're nice, but a little too pristine. So by taking some Waverly wax, which you can find at Walmart, I brush it on entirely and remove most of it with a paper towel. This helps give them a more antique, aged look. An easy way to make your guests feel special is to take any paper you have on hand and simply type, print, and cut the edges using scalloped scissors just to make it feel a little more elevated. I remember reading on a blog once about DIY moss hearts, and to achieve this, all you need are some hearts from Hobby Lobby, floral wire, and some moss. Little by little, you pinch the moss in place and wrap it using the floral wire. When you're done, giving it a little trim helps it look finished and refined. Another option is a solid heart. Using the same form, use zigzag floral wire to create a base. Add your moss to the top. And using more wire, wrap the heart to secure everything in place. Finally, take a little more moss and wrap it around any exposed wire. Again, a final trim helps polish the look. The fun thing about these inexpensive items is that you could put them together as parting gifts for your guest. Here's what that might look like: a candle, a heart, and maybe a floral arrangement for whoever brought the good wine. Lastly, for an easy and impactful cocktail, Take your favorite ice cream or sorbet, I chose this color to match my theme, add 2 or 3 scoops, and top it with your choice of champagne. You could easily make this non-alcoholic by adding a flavored sparkling water, and it would be just as delicious.